First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we're holding this online event. I am in Brisbane, so the Yagara and Turrbal people, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And also acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people that are participating in this live session. Okay, so congratulations on taking the first step in your journey of recognition as an engineering professional in Australia, and thank you for participating in the workshop Engineer Journey 2023 and starting your personal and professional life transformation. And tonight, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida. I'm the founder of the website www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website that I created back in 2019 to help you guys, overseas trained engineers, to become an engineer here in Australia. I also share content about the professional life of an engineer here, and also how you can get your first engineering job here in Australia. And in today's live session, I would like to talk to you about your specific situation. Because if you are an engineering professional and are thinking about changing your life, this is a great day for you. And why is that? Because today you will get a lot of information in how you can start your journey to become an engineer in Australia, still in 2023, still this year. And just a couple of reminders are very important for you to save my email address and my name in your contact details in your email, because email providers, they usually send my emails to the junk mailbox. If you don't open the emails, or if you don't save my address and mark as favorites, usually email providers, they send pretty much everything to other or junk mailbox. So it's very important for you to save in my emails. Today or tonight, I sent you an email like 5 or 6 minutes ago, just reminding you that I am live here. So if you didn't receive my email, and if you registered to the workshop, it means that my emails are going to your junk mailbox. So after the live session, I ask you to check your junk mailbox. If my email is sitting there, just save my name and my email address. And why did I say that tonight or today is a great day for you if you want to become an engineer in Australia? I'm going to talk about why tonight is an opportunity for life transformation by telling my own story. My story and my wife's story. Some 18 years ago, back in 2005, my wife and I, we had a very successful life in Brazil. We used to live in Curitiba, and we had good jobs. And all of a sudden, my wife decided that she wanted to learn English. She was missing out very good opportunities because she didn't speak English at all, even though she studied English a lot in Brazil, but her English was not good. So she decided to come here to Australia to learn English. And all of a sudden, I quit my job, she quit her job, and we came to Australia just to stay 6 months. And we said, we're just going to stay there for like half a year. And then she was going to learn English, and we're going to go back to Brazil. We're going to get better jobs, and life continues. But if you are already in Australia, you will see that it's not simple like that. We arrived in Australia, we came to Brisbane, and we fell in love with the country. We fell in love with Brisbane. We fell in love with everything that was here. And also my wife, she didn't learn English very well in 6 months. So we decided then to renew her English course, renew the visa, and stay here for another 6 months. And then I'm going to tell you the story later on, what happened there. But just so you know that when we arrived here, we were international students. And probably most of you also international students. Studying 20 hours a week, working 20 hours a week, making plans how to stay, saving money to renew your visa. We all know that. We all know that because I also did the same. I also worked as a cleaner. I also worked as a kitchen hand, and all of those jobs at that time didn't really have Uber or Deliveroo, but I worked in many other jobs. So it's just to show you guys that, like you, I was an international student. After 18 years, and it didn't take that long, after pretty much a year, I was already a recognized engineer here in Australia. And after few years, I was working as an engineer here in Australia. So yesterday I said during the opening webinar that the task or the journey to become an engineer will put some challenges in front of you, and you need motivation. So to add to that motivation, I would like to play a very quick video from Walter, an environmental engineer, that he tells us that he is like us. He came as an international student. He was unloading container. Well, I don't want to say everything. You will see and you will hear from him. So hopefully that will work as well. It's just 53 seconds.
Ah, legal, Walter. E quando você chegou aqui, o que você fazia? Você estudava, você trabalhava, fazia os dois?
A vida de estudante internacional aqui não é fácil. O custo de vida é muito caro. Se você não tiver uma base financeira muito grande, você vai ter que trabalhar. Então, eu cheguei aqui, eu estudava. Eu cheguei em Melbourne, foi a primeira cidade que eu fui morar, em Melbourne, eu e minha esposa. Nós estudávamos inglês, basicão, sem saber quase nada. Só dizer bom dia, boa noite.
The book is on the table.
The book is on the table, aquele inglês que a gente estuda no Brasil. E no período da manhã e da tarde eu trabalhava descarregando container. Foi bem difícil. A princípio, eu achava que ia ser fácil, que era só temporário, que eu ia arrumar um emprego de engenheiro muito fácil, que ia validar meu diploma muito fácil. Mas teve um longo caminho em Melbourne trabalhando, descarregando container.
Yes, the mission on the journey to validate the qualification was not easy for Walter. He thought that he was going to get a job as an engineer fairly quickly, but it wasn't really like that. But he did in the end. He's one of my mentoring students, and he managed to validate his qualification as an environmental engineer. So we're going to have a lot of content, as I said, tonight, and I'm just going to level your expectations. Tonight's live session is going to take between 60 to 90 minutes. So 1 hour or 1.5 hours, because it's a lot of content and depending on the questions that you guys put in the comments. And I want to say that because I would like you to stay in the live session until the end. I know that's not easy. It's already 8:12 p.m. at night. You guys probably studied or worked the whole day, like me, and you're tired. You want to go to bed, have a shower, go to bed, etc. Me too. But if you don't have patience to watch and to participate for 60 or 90 minutes tonight, and 60 or 90 minutes in the next few days, I'm saying that probably you are not prepared yet to become an engineer. Yesterday I said that it will take hours and hours and hours. It will take weeks and weeks. It will take months for you to prepare your application. For some people, it takes years. I've got students from my first mentoring group back in 2019 that for some reason or another, they didn't do straight away, but they did it. One did just this year and got recognized after almost 3.5 years, because it takes a lot of time and it's a matter of priority as well. So tonight, between 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and I really, really would like you guys to stay with me until the end. If you think that you don't have time, as I said yesterday during the procrastination session, perhaps if you don't check your Facebook or Instagram, just nobody checks Facebook. Yeah, still, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, WhatsApp. Have you considered or counted how much time you spend on those applications every day? Pretty sure there's going to be more than 1 hour or 1.5 hours, which is going to be the length of tonight's live session. So if you are ready to overcome procrastination, if you're ready to give up your Deliveroo job or your cleaner job or your kitchen hand job, and as I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I've done it for almost a year and I made very good friends. I had a lot of fun. But if you really want to give up on that and start your life as a professional engineer, I think it's not too much to ask for you to watch the live session with me. Yeah, maybe my English is not good, maybe my voice is not pretty, but the information that I will give to you, I can assure you that is very, very good. So let's go and watch another short video. There are a few short videos tonight, so you don't really just listen to my voice, you listen to somebody else's voice and other testimonies, and those videos are very short. The next one is from Leila. She's a civil engineer that she was validated back in 2020. She was actually my first student to be validated, and she's going to talk about procrastination. What are the things that she didn't, or she had to stop doing to be able to get her qualification validated? All right, so hopefully that will work again.
Eu assim, com todo o material que tu fornece, com os encontros, aquilo tudo, eu me senti assim super preparada, que eu tinha tudo que eu precisava para começar. Então eu só precisava realmente sentar e fazer, sabe? Foi essa sensação, porque antes não. Antes eu sentava, olhava e não sabia nem por onde começar. Então, assim, o teu material me ajudou assim muito, porque eu sabia, eu tive aquela tranquilidade assim, agora é só sentar e fazer, que não é uma coisa fácil. Não. Precisa de várias horas, precisa de dedicação, você precisa abrir mão de várias coisas, de estar com a família, de passear, de fazer outras coisas, e até mesmo de trabalhar para fazer isso. Mas eu senti que eu tinha todos os recursos, então, e tinha material gravado, os slides que eu podia passar, repassar, voltar, tinha vários exemplos ali, enquanto eu participava das aulas, daquelas 3 que a gente fez, eu ia anotando, já ia tendo dicas, assim, ideias de como que eu ia justificar endereçar então cada requisito. Então aquilo ali eu já tinha tudo material, já estava com as ideias muito frescas e tinha todo o suporte do teu material. Legal. Então foi muito mais fácil.
Yeah, thanks, Leila. And obviously you're a very good student. You're taking notes, you paid attention to the classes, and you were determined to get your objective, and you did it. You just not got your qualification, but also you got your visa as well. So congratulations and well done. Also, I would like to remind you guys about the 75% discount in my mentoring program. I'm going to explain tonight in a little bit more details what you need to do to be able to have a chance to get that discount in the group that I'm going to open at the end of this workshop. So what you need to do, you just need to go to my Instagram post. Let me see, that's, I think you guys can see here. Yeah, the ring light is, so it's this post here. I'm actually going to put the link in the comments so you guys can go there. You don't need to go now, but after the live session, you can go to my post. And what you need to do, I'll read out here. Get a chance to win 75% discount in my online mentoring program, Validation Formula, that I will be opening at the end of this workshop. And very easy to be eligible to get the discount. You need to take a screenshot of tonight's live session. So if you want to take a screenshot now, yeah, that's it. So you need to take a screenshot of each of the live sessions. Doesn't need to be when I have the post on Instagram. Can be whatever part of the live session. So take a screenshot of the live session and then post in your stories in your Instagram. And then when you do your stories, just mark my profile at Gerson Ida, so I am notified that you did your stories. Because, you know, even though if you make a stories, I may not see that if you don't mark me. There's an algorithm, even though I may follow you, Instagram doesn't distribute to everybody. So you need to mark my name. So take a screenshot, post in your stories, mark my name in your stories. And then with the post, this post in Instagram, you need obviously to like the post. You've got to be following my profile. And then you mark one engineer or somebody else in the comments of the post. And pay attention during the live session, each of the 3 live sessions. And then in the comments, write one learning of the live session. So tonight, I'm going to talk about the opportunity for life transformation. I'm going to talk about the different pathways to validate your qualification. And also going to talk about the 6 steps for the CDR process. I just need you to write in the comments one learning from tonight's live session. You can just write, from live number 1, I've learned this. That's it. You mark somebody, you like the post, you follow my profile, and you take a screenshot and you mark my name when you post in your stories. So you do that tonight. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to remind you again. So you take another screenshot, you mark my name when you post in stories, and then from the learnings, you write from live session number 2, I've learned and then that's it. You don't need to mark anybody else because you marked it already. And then for live number 3, same thing. You take a screenshot, you post in your stories, you put mark my profile in there, and then in the comments of the post, you say from live session number 3, I've learned this, and that. And that's it. You're eligible to get a chance to get 75% discount in my mentoring program. And then during the closing webinar on Thursday, I'm going to upload all the comments in the system as I did yesterday with the 15 minutes of free consulting. And then the system will choose somebody, and that somebody needs to be live with me participating in the closing webinar. If the person is not participating in the closing webinar with me live, I will do a redraw until somebody is live with me at the closing webinar and obviously fulfilled all other requirements. Very simple. And then after that, I will, for those that didn't win the 75% discount, I will draw again, and I will be giving away 15 minutes of free consulting. If the person that got the 75% discount wins also the 15 minutes of free consulting, that doesn't count. I will redraw, and the system will choose somebody else to win the 15 minutes of free consulting. So, and I can assure you that just the 75% discount is more than $1,000. So I know that's a little bit of work for you to do, but it's worthwhile. Last group, Juliana from Colombia, she did it, and she was the lucky one. She joined my mentoring program paying just 25%, which is very, 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 it's already cheap. You will know on Thursday, it's already cheap for the content and the value that you will get. And she got just for 25%. So I think it's worthwhile participating. All right, so I'll keep going. Okay, so I was talking about the opportunity for life transformation. And did you know that when I started my validation process, it took me about 8 to 10 months. 8 months probably when I really started doing, but I had probably 2 months that I was kind of thinking about it and am I going to do, not going to do, is it worthwhile, etc. But let's say it took me 8 months. And after, obviously, I did it, and after all of these years, I think I could have done it in 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, maximum 1 month, because I was working and those sort of things. And then I thought, oh, I wasted 7 months probably. I could have done it in 1 month, but it took me 8 months. Why? Because at that time, back in 2005, 2005-06, didn't really have a lot of information. And if I had the level of information that there is today, if I had access to somebody with the information that I give today, for example, I would be saving so much time. And not just time, but also frustration and effort and money, because time is money. Especially frustration, because sometimes you do it and then you have to redo it, and it's very, very frustrating. So that's why I am here to guide you guys, to teach you, and you guys here to learn how to do it. And when I talk about life transformation, it is because when I got my civil engineering degree validated, it transformed my life. It transformed my life because I had the requirement to apply for my permanent visa. And we got our permanent visa. And with the permanent visa, after that, we got our citizenship. And with permanent visa, also got me the opportunity to find much easier an engineer job. And having an engineer job, obviously paying much more than a cleaner, a kitchen hand, those sort of things, it gave me the opportunity to transform my life. We bought our house, not just one, we got a couple. We bought many things. We had the chance and the option to do different things. We had our daughter here. We can pay a very good school for her. We can do things that probably, if we were just students, if we were working in other jobs, probably we would be struggling to do it. Obviously, there are some cleaners and other people that they earn a lot of money, but they work really, really hard. Nowadays, obviously, I still work hard, but I work with my brain. I don't really clean toilets. I don't need to clean toilets to make my money. And I am fulfilling my dream to be as an engineer here in Australia, to contribute to the engineering profession here in Australia, and to help the Australian community as an engineer. And I wanted to do this back in 2013. As I said before, I got recognized as an engineer in 2006. In 2011, I became a chartered professional engineer and a registered professional engineer of Queensland. And I wanted to help people, other engineers, back in 2012, 2013. And I'm going to share with you a sad story. A sad story that happened with me that didn't allow me to help straight away back in 2013. It put a pause in my life for many, many years. I remember till today, it was the 5th of July 2013, 9 a.m. I had an appointment with my friend and our family doctor. I was with stomach ache, a lot of pain in the stomach area, and I was constipated. And as soon as he saw me, he booked a CT scan. And because my belly, my tummy was very distended, looks like a balloon. After a couple of hours, it came the diagnostic. He got a call from the radiologist, and the radiologist said that I had a tumor in my belly, in my colon, and the tumor was obstructing 100% of my colon. I put some photos there, they're a bit graphic, but this drawing here shows where the tumor was. There's in this red circle. It had the size of an apple. And then the CT scan, I don't think you can see my mouse, but where there is a red line, it's my colon, it's the large intestine. And supposed to be maximum of 3.5 centimeters diameter. And my colon was about almost 11 centimeters diameter. My doctor said it was close to burst, close to blow up. And he said that if that blows up, you will die. Because it was obstructed, and I was eating and was drinking, so everything was coming in, but nothing really was going out. So it was just accumulating there, and it was really close to burst. And the other pictures there with my lovely wife, this was after the surgery already. I had a surgery. This day, I remember till today, I wasn't feeling very well. My tummy, my intestine was not working. I had tubes everywhere. Every orifice that you can think about, and I'm really saying all of them, I had tubes in it because I couldn't drink, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do number one, I couldn't do number two. Everything was from tubes. And I spent a couple of weeks in hospital, and then luckily everything started to work again, and I managed to be released from hospital. And then the other picture, the background is number 13, is where I was having chemotherapy. I had 6 months of chemotherapy. That was back in 2013, 2014. And after that, after 10 years this month, my doctor says I am cured. So back in 2019 was when the doctor said, really, Gerson, I think now you are okay, you are cured, the cancer is not going to come back. And that was a big relief for me and for my family. Back in 2013, my daughter, she was 6 years old. And you can imagine how I was feeling. How can I cannot die because my wife, my little daughter, and I have a lot of things to do. And I survived. And when I got the green light that I was okay, I was good, I then decided to resume, to start again my project to help engineers. Because Australia was very good for me. Australia gave a lot of things for myself, for my wife, for my daughter. And I had to give back somehow. And that's when I started my project. It was Easter 2019. I started my project. I created my website, www.engineersinaustralia.com. And you can see in my YouTube channel my first video. I think I published on the 20th of April 2019. I'm not sure what was one of those dates. And I really, really wanted, and still today, after more than 3,500 hours of free time that I'm giving to you guys, that I can really help you guys. I've got already 27 engineers, my students, that they got validated, and I feel very happy that I am part of their success. And many of them already residents, some of them already permanent residents, and I'm very happy for them. So it's just to say that it's important to help. Oh yeah, Jason, but you have a mentoring program. You're just doing this because you're going to sell us a mentoring program. Yes, I have a mentoring program because people ask me to do that. People ask me to give consultancy. And because I work full time, I cannot give consultancy one-on-one. So that's why I put together a mentoring program, online mentoring program. So there's another way for those people that they need a little bit more help. A lot of people, they don't need my help. They need, just with my free videos, they good to go. I get many messages, Gerson, thank you very much. I watched your videos and I got validated. It helped me a lot to get validated. I didn't even know the person. The person wasn't my student, but my free content helped a lot of people to get validated as well. And I'll keep doing that. But there are people that they need a little bit more help. And for those people that need a little bit more help, I'm here with my mentoring program in helping them. And I need to charge because there is costs that I had to invest and I recoup those costs. So I'm going to play a quick 30 seconds video now from Leila again. And she's going to talk about the importance that she felt when people help each other. So hopefully that will work.
Eu gostei assim, eu vi o porquê que tu estava fazendo isso, então isso eu achei bacana, que tu sentia que tu comentou num dos teus vídeos, tu comentou que isso era uma maneira de tu retribuir tudo que tu tinha já conseguido, que tinham feito por ti. Não que tinham feito por ti, mas assim, o que a Austrália já tinha te dado, e tu via a dificuldade que os engenheiros passavam, as entrevistas que tu conduzia, e foi a maneira que tu achou para ajudar esse pessoal que precisava de orientação.
Thanks, Leila, and I'll keep doing that because I want to see many other engineers like Leila to be validated and become engineers here in Australia. So just a reminder that tonight is your first live session of 3 live sessions. We're going to have tonight, we're going to have tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well, and the closing webinar on Thursday. And what are you going to get out of tonight's live session? I spoke about the opportunity for life transformation, and now I'm going to talk about a few things as an overseas engineer, how you can get validated. But there are very important concepts that you need to understand first. First of all, you need to read the booklet from Engineers Australia. So that is very important. You need to read the booklet. You just go to engineersaustralia.org.au, and then in the migration session, you just need to read the booklet. It's very important that you read not just once, but read twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's very, very important. So that is one very important principle. You need to read the booklet. Another thing that you need to know is that when you are going to validate, there are different categories that you can apply for. There are categories of the professional engineer. There is the category of engineering technologist. And there's a category of engineering associate. And there's a 4th category, which is the engineering manager. But that is just for migration purpose. If you are approved as an engineering manager, you cannot become a member of Engineers Australia because it's not an engineer. The title already says engineering manager. So you are a manager, you're not an engineer. The other 3 categories, professional engineer, engineering technologist, and engineering associate, you can become a member of Engineers Australia in the category of professional engineer, in the category of technologist, or in the category of associate. Okay? And to become an engineer in Australia, there are 5 different pathways. And I'm going to show you here the different pathways that you have available. The first pathway is the Australian qualification. And obviously, it's very straightforward. Australian qualification means that you studied here in Australia, and if you studied in a recognized university, in a course that is also recognized by Engineers Australia, it means that you can use this qualification to become a member of Engineers Australia. And obviously, you can get your code to apply for your migration process. The second pathway, the second, the third, and the 4th pathway, the Washington Accord, the Sydney Accord, and the Dublin Accord, they are related to the categories that you can apply for. Washington Accord for the category of the professional engineer, the Sydney Accord for the category of engineering technologist, and the Dublin Accord for the category of engineering associate. Okay, Jerson, but what is this accord? I think to make things easy, I will share here a website of the International Engineering Alliance. So International Engineering Alliance. So you just need to Google International Engineering Alliance. It's an alliance where many countries they have signed for, they are part of. Australia is part of those that alliance. And there are different accords. You see here, Washington Accord. When you click on Washington Accord, it is for professional engineers. Mobility of professional engineers. And then you just need to go to the signatories tab here. And then these are the countries that they have full rights in the accord. It means that if you are an engineer, overseas qualified engineer, and you graduated in one of those countries until here, and very important, you graduated on or after the year. For example, if you are from Sri Lanka, if you graduated on 2014 or after 2014 from Sri Lanka in a recognized university, in a recognized course, you are eligible to apply your recognition under the Washington Accord. If you graduated in Sri Lanka in 2013, you graduated 1 year before Sri Lanka became a full signatory, which means that you are not eligible to apply under the Washington Accord. You need to apply under the CDR process, the Competency Demonstration Report. So if your country is not here, so where are you from? Let's start with our participation and our engagement. Tell me, which country are you from that you graduated, obviously, because you could be from Colombia and graduated in Japan, for example. But where did you graduate? Tell me that. I'll put in the chat. Where did you graduate? I know that there's a little bit of a time lag between when I ask and when you get that. So, where did you graduate? I'll put my answer. I graduated in Brazil in 1994. Where and when? So Wendell says, I graduated in Brazil. What about the others? Where did you graduate and when? And if you think the information is relevant, don't forget to hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not going to lose your finger. And it tells YouTube and Instagram that the content is relevant and it will distribute to more people. And also motivates me to keep going. Every time that I see a like, I'm very happy because I know that you guys are enjoying the content. All right. Akhil is saying that he graduated in Nepal in 2017. Cesar graduated in Brazil in 2018. Wendell graduated in Brazil in 2019. And João Victor graduated in Brazil in November 2022. All right. So let's have a look on that website. If any of your countries are here. I know that Brazil is not here, so unfortunately you cannot use, for the Brazilian engineers, you cannot use the Washington Accord. Let's have a look if Nepal is here. Korea, Russia, Malaysia, China, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Ireland, Hong Kong, China, Chinese Taipei, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Japan, India, United States, Turkey, United Kingdom, Costa Rica, Mexico, Pakistan, Peru, Indonesia. Sorry, Nepal is not here either. Those ones are provisional signatories in the Washington Accord. Nigeria, Chile, Thailand, Bangladesh, Philippines, Myanmar, Saudi Arabia. Those countries that are provisional signatories, it says here, as having appropriate systems and processes in place to develop towards becoming a full signatory. So if you graduated in Chile, for example, in 2019, even though you graduated from Chile after it was approved as provisional status in 2018, you cannot use Washington Accord. You still need to use the CDR process because it's still provisional. You're not a full right, unfortunately. And it's going to work the same for the Sydney Accord. Sydney Accord is for engineering technology, it's for the technologists, and Dublin Accord for the engineering technicians or engineering associates. Same thing, the country needs to be a full signatory, and you have to have graduated on or after the country became a full signatory. All right. So this covers Australian Qualification, Washington Accord, Sydney Accord, and Dublin Accord. Just recently, I think it was back in 2020, France got an agreement with Engineers Australia that if you are registered in this institution of engineers in France from that date, you can apply under the Washington Accord as well. For everybody else, unfortunately for you guys, Akhil from Nepal and Cesar from Brazil, who are the others there? João Vitor, Wendell. You will have to do CDR process. Karam is saying that, well, Danielle saying he's a civil engineer, graduated in Colombia. Was Colombia there? I don't believe it was. Colombia, don't believe it was there. No, Colombia is not there. So I have to do CDR process as well. But Karam, he is from India. He graduated in India 2015 and did his postgraduate in Australia. He graduated in India 2015. Let's have a look. India, represented by National Board of Accreditation 2014. So Karam, good news for you. If your university and your course are recognized by Engineers Australia, you can validate your qualification under the Washington Accord, which is much, much easier. And Karan is asking, will this live session be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded in YouTube, and it will be available until this coming Sunday. And then it will disappear from the public. All right, so for majority of engineers in the world, because as you saw, there's probably just 23 or 24 countries that are full signatories of the Washington Accord. Every other country which is not full signatory, the engineers from there, they need to apply under the Washington, under the CDR process, the Competency Demonstration Report process. All right. But if you're not quite sure What you also can do, I'm going to go there and show you again. If you go to Engineers Australia website, there is, this is the address for the migration skills assessment. You can use the quiz to help you choose the right assessment. Let's say Karam, he's from India. Let's say his qualification from a country which is a full signatory to the Washington Accord. Yes. My qualification is listed fully accredited according to the signatory's published listing, and the date of my qualification matches the listed accredited dates. He got his qualification in 2015. India was fully accredited in 2014, so the answer is yes. And I want to be assessed according to the degree title and course content. Yes, and then submit. It will give apply under the Washington Accord pathway. So it gives you very simply the pathway that you need to do. And then the booklet will be here, prepare your application. And then there's a link, prepare your migration skills assessment application. And there's a PDF. And in this PDF, that is actually the booklet. So this is the booklet that you need to read. So, as majority of you guys are going to apply under the CDR process, the Competency Demonstration Report, the next stage of our workshop today is going to be the 6 steps for the CDR process, the Competency Demonstration Report. I got a slide that shows the steps, and I'm going to go through them now. So, step number 1. I'm just going to get my notes, just make sure that I got everything there. Yeah. So step number 1, and yesterday I said that the validation process is simple because, as you can see, there are just 6 steps. Very simple process. It's not complex. It's just 6 steps and very simple. However, I also said that although it's simple, it's not easy. I didn't say it's difficult. I said that it is not easy. If it was easy, then everybody could do it fairly simply or very easily. But that's not the case. There's a lot of people that they don't get it. There's a lot of people that they take risks and they commit plagiarism. They get somebody to write on their behalf and they fail because Engineers Australia will catch you. So it's not easy. And there's a lot of information. A lot of people that they have good intent, they want to help, but by not understanding the process, because if you do it, it doesn't really mean that you can teach somebody. Oh, Jason, but what are you talking about? You're teaching us. Yes, I am. But I just started to teach after almost 8 years of doing that. By reviewing career episodes, by interviewing engineers, etc. And I feel very comfortable in teaching. I feel very comfortable in mentoring you guys to do it because I've got a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. And I don't judge about the other ones. But I got many calls from people, engineers, that they got help from others and they ended up making a mess. because if you just got approved and perhaps mentoring or teaching somebody else close related to your profession, yeah, maybe it's probably all right. But if it is a different field of engineering, if it's a different experience, you could be leading the other person to a lot of trouble. So there's a lot of information there, and there's a lot of misinformation as well. So the next very short video, 20 seconds video that I'm going to show you guys is about Walter talking about this scenario where he had a lot of information and he didn't really know where to start.
Tudo isso me dava medo de começar, eu não sabia por onde começar. Eu tinha muito material na mão que não estava organizado, estava tudo desorganizado, não conseguia começar. Pode ser uma falha minha, não sei se outras pessoas tinham o mesmo problema, ou têm ainda o mesmo problema, mas eu tinha excesso de informação na minha mão, informação desorganizada, e isso estava me atrapalhando começar.
So he couldn't really start because he had a lot of information and he didn't know how to handle that information. And that fear also haunted me for 18 years ago when I started. But I didn't really have another option at that time. So that's why it's really, really important that you get the information recognized, organized, and I keep saying to you guys, the success of the validation process is about 80% organization and planning and 20% writing. It's not, if you start writing straight away, it's not going to be good because you need to organize yourself. If there is a learning that you need to take from tonight's session, it is that 80% is planning and organization and 20% writing. As like any other project, the better you plan, the better you organize, smoother and easier is going to be and more effective is going to be the delivery. So the validation process is no different. So again, I'll go back to the 6 steps. And I'm going to talk about them. So step number 1 is about your personal information. And personal information is about your photo, like a passport size photo, your identification. It could be your national ID card or your passport bio page. Important that if your national ID card is not in English, you need to obviously translate that to English by an authorized translator. If you changed your name because you got married, or even here in Australia, you can actually change your name, you need to provide your change of name document, either your marriage certificate or your change of name documentation. Also, you need to include your curriculum vitae or your resume, and also your English test results. Step number 1 is fairly straightforward, but the English test. Obviously, a lot of people, even my students, I've got many students that they finish everything, but they haven't got the English test results because there is a minimum score of the English test. And what is that? I'm going to show you here. Where is that? So these are the minimum scores for English test according to the Engineers Australia booklet. You can do IELTS, both general and academic are okay. You can do TOEFL IBT, and you can also do the PTE academic. And the minimum scores are there: listening, reading, writing, speaking for IELTS, the TOEFL, those scores for each of the bands, and PTE academic, you gotta have 50 in each of the bands. Very important to say that you need to have the minimum scores in each of the 4 bands. It's not average. If you get, for example, in IELTS 6, 6, 5, and 7, average overall will be 6, but because you got a 5, you cannot use that test. What you can do though, you can sit another IELTS test and make sure that you get where you got the 5, let's say writing, that you get 6, and then you can combine those 2 test results as long as they are still valid. They have at least, they cannot be more than 3 years old, and then you can combine the test results. All right. So going back to the CDR stages, step number 2 is your application. And application means that you need to nominate your category. And we spoke before: professional engineer, engineering technologist, or engineering associate. And engineering manager, just for migration purposes. And your occupation, you will also need to choose what occupation. Occupation will be if you are a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, environmental engineer, chemical engineer, industrial engineer. So you need to choose the occupation that you're going to apply for. And also step number 3 is your education. You need to prepare your academic certificates. So your bachelor degree, your academic transcripts, and also any other relevant academic documentation that you may have. A post-graduation course or a specialization course, those are the documents that you need to provide. And again, if they are not in English language, you need to make sure that they are translated by an authorized translator. Step number 4 is your skilled employment. If you're going to use work experience in your career episodes, you need to make sure that you got your reference letter from your employer. It's very important to have the reference letter because it is your supervisor confirming that you did everything that you said that you did. Because you can say that you did, but the assessor from Engineers Australia, the person who is evaluating your application, he or she needs to know if you actually did it, confirm if you did it. And the supervisor from the company is going to be the person who's going to confirm that what you're saying is really what you did. Also, if you're going to do the RSEA, the Relevant Skilled Employment Assessment Services with Engineers Australia, to validate your years of experience, work experience, you also need to have your reference letter. Step number 5, they are about your CPD, the reports. And CPD is one of them. There are 3 types of reports. 1 is your CPD, 2, your career episodes, and 3, your summary statement. Your CPD is going to be your continuing professional development. And we're going to talk about CPD tomorrow in tomorrow's live session. You also need to prepare 3 career episodes, and we're going to talk about career episodes on Wednesday in live session number 3, as well as the summary statement that we're also going to talk about on live number 3. So these are the guts of your application. Here is going to be where you will have to write a lot of technical stuff, some managerial stuff, some soft skills, competencies as well, but the guts of it is going to be your technical competencies. And that's what Engineers Australia is going to be assessing you on. So that's step number 5. Step number 6 is pretty much the application. After you get all your documents, you get your translations, you get your test results, you get your passport, your photo, your ID, your resume, you get the letters from your employers, you get your CPD report, your 3 career episodes, and your summary statement. You upload everything in Engineers Australia website. You need to create an identification number there, your login, your password. You will be created then an identification number, which is going to be your future membership number. And then you select the services that you're going to do. You upload all your documents. You fill the blanks with the information that is required to be done. You pay the fee and you hit submit, and then you just wait until the positive outcome, and then you can pop the champagne and celebrate that you are a new engineer here in Australia. And just talking about celebrating as an engineer in Australia, I will play again, because I played yesterday. I play again an audio from Erica. It's just 34 seconds, where she sent me a very nice audio message when she got the news that she was approved as an engineer here in Australia. So hopefully that will also work.
Gerson, eles responderam, eu tô chorando de alegria aqui. Eles aprovaram meu diploma, graças a Deus, a minha validação, e aprovaram meus 2 anos de Austrália, mais 6 anos no Brasil. Meu Deus do céu, eu não tô aguentando de felicidade. Ai, meu Deus, obrigada, 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 eu não tenho nem como te agradecer. Nossa, muito obrigada, Gerson, você não sabe o quanto que você me ajudou. Depois eu vou até escrever um depoimento no Facebook te agradecendo, porque, nossa, muito obrigada, foi muito essencial, obrigada mesmo.
Yeah, it's a very emotional audio. Yeah, you can see that she was actually crying, and I can tell you, I almost cried as well, because as I said yesterday, her case was very difficult, and I was so happy when she got the good news. I was so happy, and just last month, I think it was last month, she sent me a message that she got her permanent residency. So yeah, very happy to be part of her success as well. And she's working as an engineer in Sydney, and I wish her all the best. Yeah. All right. I saw that there were a few new people joining in. I would like to remind you guys that you guys can still participate in the draw to get 75% of discount in my mentoring program. You have the full, until Thursday to do it. What you need to do, you need to go to my post where I talk about the 75% discount. The link is in the comments. If you are in YouTube and Instagram, you can see the link in Instagram. You go to the post. What you need to do, you just need to take a screenshot of each of the live sessions tonight, tomorrow evening, and Wednesday. So when you take the screenshot, you post in your Instagram as a stories and mark my name or my profile at Gerson Ida. So I get notification that you post the stories of the screenshot. And then in the comments of the post, you need to obviously like the post and follow my profile and mark someone. If you mark an engineer, is much better. And you have to write in the comments one learning from each of the live sessions. So you have to have 3 comments. One comment, learn what I've learned from live session number 1 was, and then you write the learning. Tomorrow evening, after the live session, you put another comment in the same post. In live session number 2, I've learned this, and that. And then on Wednesday, after live session number 3, you can say in live number 3, I've learned this, and that. And that's it. You are in the running to get a 75% discount in my mentoring program, which I'm going to open a new group on Thursday during the closing webinar. And then during the closing webinar, I will upload all the comments, and the system will choose somebody, and that somebody needs to be participating in the closing live session live with me. If the person is not there, I will do a redraw until I find somebody else. Okay? Let's see, what else do I have for tonight? I'll see if there's any question in the comments. Who else is here? For those that didn't answer where and when you graduated, it would be good so I can see where you graduated and when. Perhaps you can go with Washington Accord, or maybe you need really to go to with the CDR process. YouTube, no more questions there. Instagram, no more question there as well. So now that you understood the CDR steps, the 6 steps, it's very important that understanding the steps is one thing, but then having realization that the reports, they will require a lot of attention. So from now, I suggest you to, I know that's not very exciting, but read technical magazines. If you have access to technical magazines, read the articles that are related to your area. If you go to Engineers Australia website, you will find a lot of technical articles. You can, if you go to Australian Standards website, you will find obviously the technical specifications. So it's very important for you to familiarize yourself with the technical terminology, because to validate according to your category, you will need to utilize the terminology, the technical terminology related to your category. And remember, if you don't write at the level that you are applying for, and I've seen this many cases, people asking me, Jers, I got this feedback. I applied for professional engineer, and Engineers Australia is saying that I can get engineering technologist or engineering associate. Mainly because you didn't use the right terminology, the right technical terminology. So very, very important for you to understand that, and that will start helping you with the abilities to write a good report, to write a good summary statement, and also will give you already some CPD events. Every time, and I'm going to talk tomorrow about this, every time that you read something, you can use that as your CPD events. And in tomorrow's live session, as I said, I will give you 6 practical examples of CPD. I'm going to talk about the top 7 mistakes and the top 7 questions that engineers usually they face during the validation process. And also, a lot of people ask me if you are a self-employed engineer, autonomo, or if you are a business owner, can you validate your qualification? I'm going to explain that tomorrow as well. So, 1 hour and 18 minutes. So I think that's probably enough for tonight. Tonight we spoke about your opportunity for life transformation in becoming an engineer in Australia, which will open up doors and windows to get a job as an engineer. It will open up the doors as a requirement for your skilled visa, potentially. I'm not a migration agent, but I'm pretty sure that it will give you very good options to apply for your migration visa. And also we saw about the different pathways if you are an overseas qualified engineer, since the Australian qualification, the Accords, Washington for professional engineers, Sydney Accord for engineering technologists, Dublin Accord for engineering associates. And also if you don't fit in any of those categories before, you still have the option to apply under the CDR, the Competency Demonstration Report pathway. And also we saw about the 6 steps. The first step being the personal information. Second step about the categories and the occupation that you need to choose from. And also step number 3 about your academic and education requirements. Step number 4 about your skilled employment, the letters of reference from your employers. Step number 5, the 3 different reports, your CPD, continuing professional development, your career episodes, and your summary statement. And step number 6, which is your application on the Engineers Australia website itself. All right, I'll have a sip of water. And so we can get prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow also is going to be around 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And if you have questions, don't forget that you can always go to the website hub. I'm going to copy and paste the address in the comments. You can leave your comments in there. And you can also watch the replay from the workshop hub as well. All right. Okay, so if there's no questions there, I also like to ask you to hit the like button if you haven't done yet. I would thank you guys very much for your participation, for your time, and I hope that if you have questions, you can always watch the replay. And I hope to see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Brisbane time or 7 a.m. Brasilia time. All right? I'll see you there.